Hello, my name is Olusindiso. I'm from South Africa. I'm currently based in Shanghai, China, and I work as a kindergarten teacher. On Wednesday, August 23rd, during a disagreement, the HR manager at my job, a guy, punched me on my face. After he punched me and I was screaming, trying to get out of his office, he pushed me down on the couch, telling me that I needed to sit down. I screamed and I was trying to get my phone so I can take pictures and videos of what was happening. Instead, he grabbed my phone and said he didn't have my phone anymore. I don't know how I got out of the office, but somehow I got out, and I was running in the passage of this kindergarten trying to get help. There were various women there. All of them just watched and did nothing. I managed to run to the stairs, but by the time I got to the stairs, he was already there, and he was preventing me from going past him. I was screaming, but he was pulling me, preventing me from leaving. I don't know what came to my head, but I thought about a different exit, and I ran towards the different exit, but he was chasing me. And during the time that he was chasing me, he was singing a song, humming a song, as though to distract me in case so that I can fall and he can catch me. I managed to get out of the building, and there was another lady outside the building shouting for the securities officers to close the gate so I wouldn't get out. But what happened is the security officer made a mistake. Instead of closing the gate, he opened the gate, and then I ran, managing to get out. By the time I got out, I had no shoes on, no socks on. They had taken my phone. I had no bag on. It was just me and nothing on my hands. I didn't know what to do, so I started walking on the streets, and I came across a young Chinese lady. Asked her if she speak English, and she said yes. I asked her to call the cops. She called the cops arrived, and we went back to the kindergarten. When we arrived at the kindergarten, they had gathered everything that belonged to me in a table, telling me that the reason why they were preventing me from leaving is because they wanted me to calm down so they can call the cops to resolve the issue, despite the fact that I wasn't feeling safe, and that is why I wanted to run away. Then the guy who had punched me told the cops that he did not punch me, that I hit my eye on the couch.
What's up, brothers and sisters? I hope you are so happy for Africa and the revolution that's been going around, and I hope that you are praying that this revolution does not stop in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger and Guinea, but spreads like wildfire into the other nations of Africa.
Yes.
So, man, it's so painful to see our sisters and our brothers being mistreated abroad, and we've seen racism everywhere. Even a little child in Ireland being denied a medal in school, just a fake medal. It really impacts on the kid. We've seen ladies, Ethiopians, being killed in Saudi Arabia, among other things. And this time, it happened in China.
So there's this trending video all over social media. Go to TikTok, Instagram, wherever, YouTube, you will see it. So there's this South African lady who's a kindergarten teacher in China, who was physically abused or punched by the boss, who is the HR manager of the school. So what happened here, they had a small meeting with the HR manager in his office, and they had just some commotion. And this guy could not control his anger. I don't know how, maybe they were speaking, maybe they were, exchanging words. So he punched her on just around the eye. You have seen in the video. When she was trying to take her phone to record the incident, the guy took the phone, continued to really beat her up, and then people were watching. The principal of the school was also there. She saw whatever happened but pretended she didn't see anything. When she ran out to ask for help, nobody cared, until she got out on the streets to ask a lady if she could help call the police. So the police came, she told them her story, and they took her to the school. So going back to the school, the police, it's China. They had to hear the side of the school, and they were told that it was just a misunderstanding and the lady fell on the couch, so she hurt herself around her eye, which is something that is false. When the lady asked for CCTV footage, she was denied. So eventually they checked her records and realized that she's only left with 2 weeks on her visa. So, they cannot help her much, because it's either she's deported, it's either she keeps quiet about the story. There was not really a solution about this, and eventually she lost the fight. And then we saw that the school actually took her to the board of teachers where she cannot now get a job as a teacher in China, in fact, any other job. And this has saddened me so much because this is our sister who left Africa to seek for better opportunities, and because she probably failed to get a job in South Africa, where I've seen Malema talking about job opportunities, the lack of jobs in South Africa, and she went to China thinking, this is probably going to be the better option for me. And getting into China, what does she get? All this violence. What do you feel about the matter?
So, guys, in the 16th, 17th, 15th, hundreds, let me call it, in the 17th, 18th, 19th centuries, our people, our brothers, sisters were stolen from the motherland. They were stolen or captured,
Slaves.
put in ships, taken to Brazil, the Caribbean, and North America as slaves, without them wanting, because the system in Africa was so good that there was
Nobody
nothing like
wanted to
unemployment,
leave, you know?
hunger, and all that. Nobody wanted to leave. But right now, when they came to colonize us, they ruined everything in such a way that now our people are taking themselves to slavery. So I'm going to say this, and it's very painful because this is not just one time. In fact, right now as we talk, I'm sure there's
somebody
a brother
experiencing the same
or a
thing.
sister in a train somewhere in Europe or the US or in the streets experiencing racism. I'm going to say this. Until Africa rises up, until Africa is self-dependent, until Africa is able to lead in major global issues, we will forever be seen as a second-class people. Okay?
Yeah.
You see that years ago, Chinese were also mistreated in America. But right now, you cannot do that.
Yeah, the Chinese have taken over the world. They feel like the bosses. In South Africa, Chinese ill-treat South Africans.
Yeah. And
They tell them, go back to your country. So they claim that these are Zimbabweans coming into South Africa to seek better opportunities. So they feel like they have the right to tell a South African or a black person to go back to their country, and they are in a foreign country.
It's crazy. It's crazy that we see migrants every day dying on the Mediterranean, dying on the Red Sea, dying on the deserts of Djibouti and Yemen, going to look for better places, better work opportunities. And until, there's one thing that I don't like about us Africans is most of us, especially most of those people who are dead asleep, they feel like being European, being whatever, you are better than.
You've made it.
You being European is better than being African. That is one. It's called brainwashing. Another thing is we were colonized and given a religion. So in Ghana, when they see a white person, it's like
on their way to church, they tell you that you don't even need to go to church anymore. You've already seen, Jesus.
Yeah,
Just go
exactly.
back home.
Why was Jesus made white? Why? There's a saying in Tree, sorry, that's which literally means if you're going to church and you meet a white person, go home, you've seen God. Yeah. And these are cultural, those are the things that are intrinsic, are sayings. So the white man is God.
So, and that's where you see even when you go to churches, you find Jesus is white. And you don't see, whoever saw Jesus is living. Okay? So until we stand with our culture, that is one. Until we raise ourselves, we
improve the situations
because the leaders of Europe know Africa is rich, but the people think that we depend on them. The people think that Africa is poor, but the leaders know that if we leave Africa, Europe will be poor. So they know they are using us, but their people think we are using them.
Yeah, the same thing is happening in Canada. So in Canada, we've seen a lot of Kenyans, even some Africans from all over going into Canada in the hope of getting jobs. Let me tell you the joke that is happening in Canada. Most people are not educated. It's just people getting some agents
manual
jobs to apply for them, visas and passports and all of these things for them to get to Canada. So it's like the middleman. When they get the shock of their life, Canada needs highly skilled people.
Yeah.
So the market there allows for big jobs like data analysis, those big jobs that are meant for people who are educated. So you coming in with your hands thinking you come and clean somebody's house, taxes there are very high.
Yeah.
Some don't even need you as their laborer. So we have seen a lot of people going in. As you can see on the video, people are sleeping on the streets. People are homeless. A lot of Africans have left their motherland to go and seek better opportunities
And
in
the
Canada.
problem is they don't even have money for tickets to come back.
You are
Because it's
just
even
stuck.
very expensive.
You are stuck in a foreign land, which is even far worse than your country.
Man.
And
Man,
until we stop worshipping these people,
until
it
we
will
stop,
never change.
until we stop worshipping them and we raise ourselves, we create our own jobs. If it's processing, our president needs to be, like Malema was saying, we need to stop to block all the borders so that our minerals don't go out, but we process them here. What does that mean? In mining, you have employed 10 people. Then it goes away. So when it goes maybe to China, they have a processing company. That processing company, to process the mineral that employed 10 people in mining, they employ 20 people.
Yeah, or 100.
Then, or 100 in the whole value chain process, adding value. Then at the end, you find now there's someone who's selling. You see, if we can hold all that and bring it back to Kenya, we have
Those are the
employed
people that would not have to go to all
exactly.
this country.
We have employed all these people in mining, in transportation, in processing,
Value
in beautifying, in fashion, in shops. You know, all that value chain comes here. And even if we are selling outside, we went up to the point of sales. We are selling what? A ring. We are selling what?
Yeah,
You see?
finished products
But
at
now,
a very better cost.
You find Nigeria has oil, has gas,
Crude.
has gold, has all this. But you find Nigerians crossing the Mediterranean, going
because
to
they're
look for.
sending crude. It's just.
Have you ever seen a European working in someone's house
Hey!
in Africa, or a Chinese, or a Saudi? But you find Africans going to Saudi and girls dying
to
in
become
Saudi,
slaves?
dying in Saudi, being mistreated in Saudi because they are going to look for better jobs.
And it has to stop. Also, the thing that Africans associate white men or white women. If you marry a white man, you have made it in life. That's where it
That's
begins.
crazy.
You know,
That's
because
crazy.
because that's where you degrade yourself to say, I'm less off until I have this validation of this other skill. If you do not believe that you are good enough, you are better, you are everything that you need, I swear, no matter how much you talk,
we need
will
to
always
accept
be dependent.
ourselves. We need to teach our children. I'm so mad about some parents who are teaching children the English culture, the English language, instead of starting with your mother tongue. It's crazy.
And your own culture.
And that will backfire on us crazily. And it's
backfire.
happening in the low class, not even middle class, low class people. And that will backfire on us deadly. So guys, let us know what you think. It's crazy, and we need to rise up. We need to change Africa. We need to support each other.
PLO Lumumba once said the biggest disease that Africans have is low self-esteem.
Exactly.
We don't see ourselves
As people.
as better, as good.
So
enough.
we are putting a stamp on what the other races are saying. That's why they are mistreating us, and they will fight for their own rather than fighting for us. So we better fight for ourselves. We come together. And let me say this, if Africa is respected, even our brothers and sisters in diaspora, Haiti, Jamaica, African Americans, they will get the same respect. Okay? But we cannot get there until we unite and do this together.
And change the narrative. And
Yeah.
if we are still living with puppets who don't care about anybody else themselves, countries are underdeveloped, we shall never get there.
There was a time that I said in a video that even for them, they are children. Even
They
if
are
they go
children,
to
yeah.
Europe, they still face racism.
Of course. Nobody
So
cares
they
for
are
the
dumb.
presidents. We saw President Ruto on the streets of New York the other day with no security. And when they come to Africa, the airport is closed, roads are closed, just for one person.
Yeah.
So you see, we bring these things to ourselves. It makes me old.
Man, let's know what you think. We see you in the next one. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe. We get to reach 10,000 in the next 1 month.
Help us
Bye
get there,
bye.
please.